Alright guys, well, today's the day I finally get off my butt and do the front end of this thing. Wow, that camera looks off. Anyway. Oh, that one looks off too. Anyway. Got a steering box brace, or excuse me, steering box spacer. Swaybar drop bracket. The steering box brace with the sector shaft support. All the hardware to put it on. This is from Ironman4x4Fab. I think there's Ironman 4x4, and then there's the Ironman 4x4Fab. This is Ironman 4x4Fab. If you look up the wrong thing, you'll get the wrong people. Plus, bushings for my Pro Comp lower control arms. And I'm going to get that cheap eBay track bar off of there. I finally was able to get a hold of Rugged Ridge. And I got the right part number for the bushings that I need for my Rugged Ridge track bar, which has been sitting over here in the corner. The bracket's down there. So, the whole reason I'm doing all this, also, you got a new gearbox, or remanufactured gearbox, because they don't make new gearboxes for these things anymore. If they did, I would have bought one. But the reason I do that, I got movement side to side of my sector shaft, and it actually pops. I am almost positive that is where my death wobbles come from. But my lower control arm bushings have been on there for over 5 years, and I have not been easy on them. These aren't flex joints, and yet I have flexed the heck out of them. They got some flex to them. The bushings are they're tapered off on the outside, so it can allow movement side to side. But I doubt it allows as much movement as I get in, as much flex as I get in these things. I wanted to have upper control arms and upper control arm bushings to put on. I don't have them. If I still have death wobble after that, I'll get upper control arms too. I'll keep the lower control arms for now, because I don't want to put too much money into this, because I'm trying to save it for long arms. So, but yeah, so gearbox is coming off, track bar is coming off, lower control arm bushings, and then lowering the sway bar, because with the sector shaft brace, you have to lower the sway bar. Yeah, I'll see if I can get you set up to hear the popping, but you feel it through the floorboard, and you've been feeling it for a while now. It's just gotten to the point where it's so bad that it's actually causing a problem. Yeah, let's see if I can get it to pop for you. Alright, well, I don't know how well y'all saw that or heard it. I didn't really hear the big pops like I used to, but they're definitely still there, especially when I took this thing in the trails weeks ago. It was popping bad when you started articulating and everything else. I've already taken the sway bar off. Something else that I didn't mention, I don't think. I got some rebuild components for my JKS disconnects. One reason is because I didn't buy them new. I got them used. Got them used from a buddy. The same one I bought the alternator for, the used alternator for this thing for. It's an OE alternator, which is the reason I got it. I had a Napa one. Actually, I still have the Napa one. It's brand new. Barely has 500 miles on it in the back of it because it wasn't charging right. I could barely. It was barely doing 14 volts, and it was barely. I couldn't even winch with it. It would have bogged down way too much. So I got an OE one from him, and I got a swaybar from him too. This is the. I got new pins. I don't really need new pins, but these are the pins that are supposed to come with it, not the pins I got from Lowe's. I got some sleeves that I don't think I actually need. Yes, I do need sleeves. I need sleeves for the top. Yeah. I got some new rubber bushings that go on the pins on the axle. Right there. And then I got brand new bushings for the sway bar itself. I might wait to put these on later because I don't have a vise. And it's a whole lot easier if you have a vise, and I don't have a vise. We're supposed to have a little small vise somewhere, but I've never been able to find it. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there too. Since I took the sway bar off, the next thing I'm going to take off is probably the sway bar, because the sway bar I'm taking completely off. If you notice, I have multiple holes in my sway bar. That was the hole that it came with. Well, I still had death wobble afterwards, and actually it got worse after I put this on because I tightened everything up. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my rugged ridge back on, but I'm gonna keep this bracket. Well, that didn't work because everything's all different. This is farther back than the other one. So to try to help it, because I don't have a lot of lift, I went and moved this bolt up to where it's more in line with my pitman arm, because once you put a drop bracket, you're supposed to put a drop pitman arm on it to align all the steering components so you don't get death wobble. Well, I've never had death wobble up until recently, with that rugged ridge track bar for the past 5 years. So I know it's not the fact that my pitman's barely different. But anyway, I moved it up to see if it'd help. It didn't. So anyway, yeah, I guess I'll take my track bar off and then take this pitman arm off and go from there. Anyway, I'll be back. Track bar is off. The original captured nut that I used to have on here for stock, don't have anymore. When I had the 3-inch lift put on it, the other piece disappeared. So this is the one that I made. It's 1/2 inch, which is bigger than the stock bolts because, at least in Rugged Ridge's case, all these holes are 1/2 inch. They're all 1/2 inch, even though the one on the frame needs to be smaller. It's 1/2 inch. This is the eBay track bar. There's a Hyman there, so I mean that's kind of a good thing. I kind of like the Hyman there, but I mean, look at tube size. Rugged Ridge, eBay. I don't have the polyurethane bushings in there yet. I took that one out just to make sure the ones I got were right. But the bracket, again, the brackets are about the same, but I mean, this bottom piece is all one bent piece. That's all one bent piece. This is its own piece. This back piece plus this piece is its own piece, and then that's its own piece. But like I was saying, all these holes are 1/2 inch. On this one, they weren't. They were not 1/2 inch. So I didn't use, and it didn't come with any hardware. So I had to drill out every single one of. I had to drill out this hole. I had to drill out this heim. These little top and bottom bushings in the heim. I had to drill out, and I had to drill out this down here so I could fit my 1/2-inch holes in it. Because I already have the axle drilled out on for 4 1/2-inch, so I could fit this stuff in there. Because I had a problem with popping a couple years ago, and it was the smaller bolt popping back and forth in the mount, in the axle, popping back and forth. So I drilled it out for 1/2-inch and put a 1/2-inch bolt in it, and I haven't had a problem since. But so this is the little nutsert that I made. Piece of 1/4 inch. Doesn't need to be 1/4 inch because that's what I had. Drilled a hole in it, welded a nut to it. Pretty crappy weld, but welded a nut. It's not that bad of a weld. It's just some of the parts. Some of the parts are a little porous. Most of it's not though. Most of it's solid. And then I used a fine thread bolt because I wanted a fine thread bolt so I had more engagement. Plus look how big that shoulder is. That shoulder is pretty big, so you really don't want it resting on the threads if you can help it, because that's a weak part of the bolt. You want pretty much anything you have that's strength-wise, you want to sit on a shoulder. You don't want to sit on threads, because the threads are the weaker part of the bolt. Most of the support you're getting from the bolt is from the shoulder. But yeah, this is just a little comparison between my eBay one and my regular Ridge. This one's going on my trail Jeep. This one's eventually going on my trail Jeep. I won't need it till I get more lift, because these are only designed for usually a minimum of 4 inches of lift to have a drop track bar like this. And I'm with this thing, I'm barely there. I'm at 4 3/4, so I'm on the threshold of 4 3/4 in the front, 5 or so in the back. But I'm on the threshold with this thing. I really need to get my steering upgraded. I need to get the whole steering set up, but it's been doing me well for now, so I'm not going to mess with it. I'm more worried about getting long arms on this thing before I do anything major with the steering. I'll probably get a rough country steering tie rod, because these things bend easy. So I'll probably get a rugged, rough country. Put one of these. You can see right there. See if it's going to focus right. I don't know if it's focusing right or not. Is it? No. You can see how bent that is. Wow, that's actually all the way down. Yeah. And you look right above that. Transmission, oil cooler lines, and the side of the block. Yeah, I've had some run-in before I had bump stops. I went off-roading a couple times and bashed that against the oil pan, and I've went through about 3 sets of transmission lines, because that smashed in transmission lines, blew the transmission lines. So my transmission's been ran dry about 3 times. One of those times wasn't by, been ran dry at least 3 or 4 times, but one of those times wasn't because I blew the transmission lines. It's because the quick disconnect at the side of the transfer case, or transmission, I think the rear quick disconnect decided to blow loose, and it was night and I couldn't see smoke. So I drove, and next thing I knew, I'm going about 50 miles an hour, and I was at about 4 grand, and I was like, that's not right. Let off the gas, hit the gas, and it just revved up, and I didn't accelerate much at all, and I'm like, and pulled over, and I immediately smelled transmission fluid, and I was like, oh, what happened? And I found that busted line. Or busted quick disconnect. It wasn't a line that time. But yeah, these lines are new. These lines are about 5 years old, if even that, or a little bit over 5 years. But yeah, these lines have been replaced twice at least. Anyway, and the transmission pan's not my this oil pan's not my stock oil pan either, because my stock oil pan had a big gash in the side of it. It wasn't all the way through, but I had a big gash in it, and I had a big gash on this side right here. I'm just lucky I'm not one of the ones that has had that happen and had the actual mount go through the pan into the crankshaft, because that's happened before on some Cherokees. Another little thing right here, a coal bucket mount right here is supposed to be flat. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's bent. That's from smacking this thing. But anyway, done a bit of rambling. So next, let's take the gearbox off. Well, take the pitman arm off, then take the gearbox off. This is going a lot quicker than I thought it would. But that gearbox is going to be a pain in the butt. I might as well disconnect the steering shaft, because that's probably going to be a pain in the butt. That's going to be more pain in the butt than getting the box in and out. Alright, I'll be back. And there it is. My new new pressure line. The new pressure line I installed October, November or so. New return line that I installed at the same time. This, the reason I got that spacer, because this usually cracks. This is usually broken by now. If you do a lot of wheeling or even just everyday use, this usually breaks because it's made out of pot metal aluminum. What saved me though, I'm guessing, actually I can guarantee you this is what saved me. My front bumper. I've had this front bumper on since the summer of 2010. I've had this front bumper on. And you can see this big brace that goes down the frame rail, the unibody rail. This keeps this part of the frame from moving and warping. So I can almost guarantee you this is why I was saved. You can see all these holes are freaking wallowed out though, because I didn't have a washer on them. Or I think I did have one. I had a washer on this one. I couldn't fit the washers on these and still keep it threading into the box. So hopefully these new bolts that I got are longer. So, I mean, yeah, they've moved around some. You can kind of tell. This has been hit by my swaybar over and over and over and over. But yeah, it's my pump. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to move it around. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to move it around. I can't move it around, but trust me, you could take it down here too, grab it and push it with the Jeep and have it moving. Like I said, I don't know about that video. I wonder if my new one has this. I think my new one has that. It's a little dust cap. But so I found it easier to take all this off than trying to come way down here and take these off. I'll just my new box, I'll take and put everything on this way, and then when I get everything back up, it should be straight. It should be where I need it. Dang it. That's the stock box. I can almost guarantee you that's the stock steering box with 215,000 on it. I'm keeping it. I'm definitely keeping it. Because you know how it goes with reman gearbox. If you know anything about reman gearboxes, you know how stuff goes with them. So I'm just hoping I got a good one. Anyway, I got the frame rail all nice. All nice and clean. Basically it looks like this side. And it looks like this side. I still never replaced that. That's a fender washer, but it's a flat fender. It's not a thick fender washer. I got a really, really thick fender washer in the house. I've never changed that. I might change it while I'm down here. I don't know. That zip tie's holding my my winch lines from hitting the fan because I have half of a fan shroud. So, but yeah. The steering shaft came out easy. The only reason I can guess it came out easy is because all of the power steering fluid that's been leaking for years down this side of the frame rail kept it all nice and lubed until I replaced that power steering line. Especially after that power steering line blew. That was fun. It blew, and I noticed steam coming out of the hood, and trying to figure out what leaked, and turning the steering wheel outside the vehicle, and I saw it shooting and hitting the manifold, and I actually saw it catch on fire for a split second and then go out. So I rode with that, I think, for a week. I put electrical tape and zip ties over where it sprung a leak so it wouldn't spray everywhere, and I drove like that I got the line, but it took me about another 5 days or so until I was able to work on it. But it's not the point of this. Let's get this gearbox in. Start getting this brace in. Yeah, before I do that, I'll replace the bushings on my track bar. Alright. Talk to y'all in a minute. Well, you know how things go with aftermarket parts, I guess. These are the sleeves that came with my new track bar bushing kit. And I went to put the half-inch bolt in, and the half-inch bolt was too small. So, it's not straight. I drilled about half from one side and half to the other side on both of them. Had to go down to my buddy's house down the street to use his vise because this doesn't hold on very well. And, I mean, it's tight. It's about as tight as the other ones were. There's a slight bit of play, but shoot. But it is what it is. It'd be nice if they just gave me the part number for the right bushings that had the right sleeves. I don't have to go and modify. I spent 30 minutes doing that because it's a slow process drilling the sleeve out. Anyway, let me get back to it. Put these sleeves in. I don't know how good this paint's going to hold, but I got all my other suspension stuff painted green, and I kicked my wobble socket. But I'm not painting both sides. This is the bottom side. This is going to be the side you're going to see. So, putting some coats of paint on that, put some coats of paint on the swaybar drop brackets. That's it. Like I said, don't know how good it's going to stick, but this is the same stuff I've been using. VHT engine enamel, grabber green. It was Rust-Oleum engine enamel that they used to have, but got this from AutoZone. Well, at least at the one that I go to, they redid the paint rack, and we don't have this color anymore. So I got maybe 2 cans left. I'm gonna have to source another place to get this stuff, unless one of the other AutoZones keeps the green in stock. But we redid the paint at the store I go to. It's not there. Took it out. So yeah, I like this paint. It's grease resistant and stuff. It's grease resistant and stuff after you have to bake it, but I've never baked it. It holds okay. My suspension stuff's painted that color. Some of it's flaking off, but some of it's not. But it's been on there for 5 years, so I can't complain on stuff flaking off. Anyway, let me get back to it. I'll be back. Alrighty, got the new bushings and track bar. New bushings and the track bar. I don't have, yeah, with this nice sticky polyurethane lubricant, which is good. That's not going to be enough to do my lower control arms, but and that is the stuff that I bought with my I bought with my Synergy ball joints. That's what's in that. Got another. That's just standard run-of-the-mill polyurethane, or run-of-the-mill petroleum-based. There we go. Petroleum-based grease. This is special, Teflon / synthetic PTFE polyurethane grease. I bought this tube specifically to put grease on my Yukon because I didn't use that grease on my Yukon, and I think that's one reason, that I'm almost positive that my upper control arms on my Yukon went bad. So this is specifically designed for polyurethane. It's not cheap. It was like $30 or so for a tube of it, but I bet it's worth it. So this is what I'm going to use whenever that little baggie, wherever I put it, gets done. That's what I'm going to use to put these on. Yeah, the gearboxes. Looks like I got the right one. There was two different ones that I could choose from that were the same part number. One was different. One didn't have this back cover on the bottom, and this was different on it. This looks like mine. Slightly different. I mean, it's gonna be might be slightly different, but looks about the same to me. Comes with a stud, which I don't need for my application. But sometimes you need a stud, I'm guessing, maybe, because I think these are the same ones for the Wrangler. Maybe. Or maybe the older Jeeps have a stud. I don't know, but I don't need the stud. Comes with new O-rings, too. I mean, this O-ring's not that old. This O-ring's not that old. I mean, like, this line's not even 6 months old. Actually, it probably is 6 months old. But still, I also have one hand got a power steering pump filter, power steering filter. I'll put that line here, but yeah, this is. I mean, I've been working on it for 4 hours now, 3 hours. This has gone a lot quicker than I thought it would, and I'm going to jinx myself now. But everything's going great. I also got some of this. This is power steering stop leak, but this is the same stuff that's in the bigger bottle. The bigger bottle, and it's the bigger bottle, just like Mossman put in his pump for his 2500. It's good for breaking in stuff. So I'm gonna put a bottle of this in it and then fill the rest up with a big thing of power steering fluid. But yeah, the small ones just say stop leak, but the big bottles, which is the same thing as that, talks about breaking in a new pump and all that other stuff. So all you need is a small bottle. So that's what I'm putting on this. Anyway, let's get these lines swapped over and get this thing back in the truck with my new power steering box brace. Yeah, that one's not cracked, but they're very, very prone to cracking. So, put my nice steering box brace in there from Ironman4x4Fab. Anyway, be back. And there we go. Got the line swapped over. All that's left is put it back in the truck, or Jeep. Put it back in the Jeep with. Got a lot of hardware because I got multiple. Let's see, that's got a big steering box right there. That's 3 of them. That's for the swaybar, and that is for the. The brace. Now, that should be all my old fluid leaked out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. plenty. That is plenty. That just means there are no washers with that, is there? Luckily, I bought a whole bunch of extra washers when I did the bumper on my Yukon, so I got a crap ton of washers. A lot of washers. So, I'll just grab some of them. Let's get this, I'll get this thing on. What's my battery at? Battery was kind of weak. Almost charged. I'll probably be swapped the one out in the Yukon a couple weeks ago. Or a month ago. Whenever I uploaded that video on starting the red Jeep, whenever I uploaded that video, the battery died, and the next morning, it was dead. Even after, or no, because that night I left it on charger. The day after that, it was dead. Leaving it open, it was dead. So I went and swapped that one out under warranty. This one, I bought this around the same time. This one should still be under warranty too. Just do a little switcheroo on it. At least till this time. Then I'll get some AMG batteries. I don't have the money right now to buy the AMG batteries. To pay. I mean, these are still under warranty. But I could still turn them in if I complained enough. I could turn them in. But I'm not worried about it. I'll get some. I'll get some in about a year or so. I'll get some Odyssey batteries for them. Anyway, let's get this thing in. Talk to you in a minute. There's the steering box installed with the Ironman 4x4 fabrication brace behind there. And that extra hole in the back of the brace is actually for extra support. And also for if you have a bumper like I do. Because I usually use that back hole, so. There's those big washers I was telling you about. I went ahead and used the big fat washers because I didn't know. Because I wanted to go ahead and spread out the load. So, well, I say fat, thick. They're not really fat, they're thick. And man, it's not that hard, but once you get one started, you're pretty much good, but getting that first one started, trying to hold that pump up there. Ooh, my arm's tired. Anyway, I got that done. I need to go unlock the steering wheel so I can turn the steering wheel around to line it up with this thing. This thing is straight. When I took mine off, I didn't have mine straight so I could get to that bolt for the side. So I need to go unlock my steering wheel so I can line the shaft up, put the shaft on, and then put the lines back on. I might try to see if I have a washer to replace that one. Or, excuse me. I need to clean it off first, but then I need to see if I got something to replace that. I should have got some more power steering line. Oh, well, I can put the filter in there. I can cut it down, put the filter in, and then do it. Anyway, I'll get that done, and I'll get back. Well, I started putting the brace on, and it's about half a hole off. The holes are in the right spot, but you put these bolts in and you try to go to this side, and the bolt hole is too short. These need to be moved over about half a bolt hole. So my buddy stopped by. These are about a 1/2 inch hole. So my buddy stopped by. I think he still got it. He still has his reamer. He's going down to his house, see if he still has his reamer, so we can ream that hole out. Because it's not going to fit, but without making those holes a little bit oblong. But I'll be back. All right. After some liberal reaming, got both sides to bolt up. Like I said, it was a good half a hole off on the passenger side. Oh, so glad freaking reamer comes in handy. Man, it throws out needles though. Probably can't see the ground, but it's all nice and sparkly. Oops. Didn't mean to press a button, but you probably see the ground. It's all nice and sparkly. But man, that gets on you, it's like a splinter. And it sticks to you, and it's just horrible. But it gets the job done. Let me continue on. And there you go. There's that tight. I tightened this clamp some. My buddy's getting a torque wrench to tighten it down more. That's as far up as I'm getting it. It's just barely got a little bit down. Just barely. It's all the way up. I'm afraid I'm going to strip something out if I do it anymore. And I just read the instructions too. This is supposed to be... Let's just say they expect having problems getting these on just be... What the hell is that? Oh, that's a little plastic clip. They expect having some difference due to the gearbox having some difference, and also the frame flexing over time. They just said pry against the frame to get it tight, but that was going to be... We almost had it, but yeah, I'm not worried about that right now. Right now I'm worried about getting that torque down so I can get the braces done. But yeah, that's slide bearing nut on the sleeve nut and eyeball alignment. So I think they want that other thing tightened down now, do they? Grease top pitman arm from abuse / back crack bent chassis. Slide bearing. Plus, that passenger side was wrecked. That passenger side was wrecked before I got it, so the frame could be out of alignment for that too. In fact, when I remember we were installing the bumper, and there was a good 1/8 inch gap between the mounts and the frame from the wreck. So yeah, that passenger side is messed up. So yeah. There are mislines, expected to the gearbox, blah blah blah. Yeah, let me get this done and I'll be back. So, after a lot of prying, a lot of fighting, finally got it on and got it this tight. I had to take the gearbox out, loosen everything up, and pry the hell out of it to get it to come in, but it finally lined up. I went ahead and got the swaybar lowering brackets on there too. I'm trying to get my swaybar in right, my track bar in, but the friggin' these bushings are too wide. So now I just gotta force it into place. But after that, I think I'm done for the night. I don't think I'm gonna worry about my lower control arms right now or my disconnects right now. Spent too much time fighting with this to get it all lined up. Yeah. Anyway, let me get this all back together. Oh. So, yeah, I'll be back. Alright, fast forward some time. I got all my lines up here done. I'm in the middle of trying to bleed the air out of the system. I got the sway bar, track bar in. That was a pain in the butt. Those bushings are oversized, and I had to hammer them in, and then it was a pain in the butt. Got all this done. It was still a bit of a pain in the butt. You need 2 people to install one of these brackets. You need 2 people. I could not have done it by myself. That's just that. I could not have done it by myself. So you need 2 people if you're going to install one of these braces. Got all that done. I didn't get my lower control arms done like I wanted to, and I didn't get my disconnects done like I wanted to, but that's good. I got all this done. I got to get all this air out of the system. I freaking hate a squealing anything. That's not good. That is not good at all. What the heck? That must have been what I hit with a hammer. Wait a minute, no, I didn't. How the heck? That's the power line to, and the ground's nicked. That goes to one of these two lights in the front. How the heck did I do that? I honestly could have hit it with a hammer. I mean, or either that or when I bottomed this thing out. I bottomed this thing out in the trail. I didn't think I bottomed the front out, though. I didn't bottom the front out. That had to happen when I was down here with the hammer, because I hit these wires with a hammer, but I thought it was over here. Oh, well. Oh, this took... Like I said earlier, I jinxed myself. I said, man, this is going easy. Yeah, how about that? It went easy there for a minute, but yeah, putting everything on, no, it did not go easy. But yeah, let me get all these tools up, and I'm every once in a while I'm going back and forth. I've already started it to get a lot of the stuff out. I shouldn't have started it. I got so many bubbles in the system now. But that's the only way I could get a lot of it to pump through the system. And then I guess I'll go into town and get me something to eat. And see if I get death wobble. If I get death wobble after this, lower control arms and upper control arms. If I get death wobble after that, well, I'm SOL, because I don't know what it could be after that. That's practically everything new in the front end. I guess if that happens, I'll order ball joints for the passenger side. Because I need ball joints for the passenger side. I don't need them because they're tight, but yeah. I got everything new in the front end besides 3-year-old wheel bearings, ball joints on the passenger side. Everything else is new, or will be new after I, like those Pro Comp lower control arms. Pretty much the only thing after that would be 3-year-old, after I do everything that I need to do now, that are, sometime, I need the lower control arm, to do the lower control arms. But after I do the lower control arms, everything in the front end's new, besides passenger ball joints and upper control arms after that. Everything else, would be new. Anyway. I gotta get this, let me get all this done. It's 8:30. It's 8:30. I've been working on this for 7 hours. So, I need to get this done. Get it done, test it, still does it. Well, I will. We'll do that when that happens. But I'm done for the night. I didn't plan on coming out here this long. But that's what happens. Anyway, talk to you in a bit. And there it is, all done. I'm fixing to go take it for a test drive. I gotta clean up just a little bit more in the shop. God, I smacked the heck out of my hand with a 2-pound hammer. Surprised it's not any more bruised than it is. But I'm fixing to go. Gotta clean up the stuff on the top of the freezer, with just stuff left over from what I've been doing, and then take this into town. But that was a little bit more challenging to install, but I mean, considering the fact that this is precision, and if there's any variance in your frame at all, especially in mine, since I think I had, I think this part of the frame right here is bent worse than I think from that wreck that it had before I got it. I know this was a little warped when we put this front bumper on about 6-7 years ago. I know when we tightened all the bolts down, the frame pulled out and lined up with everything. So yeah, it's bent from that, but that might have had something to do with it. Might not have, but yeah. Anyway, gonna test drive, probably go get something to eat. And I didn't realize it. Anyway, I'll update after that. Well, I just got back. I'm getting something to eat. In a straight line, up to about 55, 60. Seems to be doing great. This gearbox has a big dead spot in it, though. Stupid reman gearboxes. It's got a pretty big dead spot. But still, straight line, it does great. When I first started driving it, there's a crap ton of potholes away from the potholes that have been filled, and filled horribly, really close to each other, and I hit one of those potholes on the passenger side, and it started death wobbling. But as long as you're going in a straight line, or you hit something in the road and it does both tires at the same time, it's fine. There's no problems. But man, it's better, but I still got death wobble when I hit a pothole. And it's bad. It's not just a little bit. It's full blown. So I need to get the lower control arms. I'll probably get the ball joints for the passenger side. Put ball joints on the passenger side. Swap the tires around and try to get in alignment. Because an alignment can also cause a death wobble. But we'll see. I don't know anymore. Heck, maybe I'll get the stupid control arm drop brackets, but I don't want to spend $120 or so, or if not more, on control arm drop brackets when I'm going to get long arms anyway. Whatever. It's better. It's definitely better. It's drivable. Let's put it that way. I can drive it at a decent pace and not get death wobble. Before, I would get to 40 and it would just automatically death wobble. It's not doing that anymore. It's only when you hit a pothole. So something is still loose, but it's not loose enough that it's causing problems going in a straight line. But yeah, that's it. I still got the lower control arms to do. I still got the lower control arms to do, the swaybar in links to do, but I mean the disconnects, but the disconnects shouldn't have anything to do with this. But do the lower control arms, see if that helps. If that doesn't help, buy the control arm, upper control arms. I don't want to buy the upper and lower. I'll just buy the upper. Shoot, I might. It's only about $100 more. I don't want to spend $300 on control arms when I can put that $300 towards long arms, but I need to get it not death wobbling before I do long arms, because once I put the long arms on, you want it not death wobbling before you do something big like that. Let's put it that way, because there's no going back once you put long arms on, because you got to cut the lower control arm mount on the frame off, on the unibody off. So yeah, pretty productive day. Got all that crap put on. Still got just the slightest bit of death wobble, but like I said, it's drivable. I'm probably not going to drive it till I get the lower control arms on, though. So anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.